So you had a good week? Great week. Oh, that's good. So, yeah. So you get to play outside some?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's been nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think this week we're gonna have some rain, so you probably won't be outside so much. But, you know, farmers love rain. We have to be happy that,
Yeah. Well, that's the morning. I didn't make it rain.
you like to play in the rain too? Yeah, that's fun to play.
Yeah, I was going to rain.
Yeah, I'm talking to fellows. So listen, yeah. You've never jumped in the puddle?
Well,
Never have. Anyway, what I was wondering, I noticed that you had something that you picked up, that you had these little guys. Remember these? And why do we like these? What does it remind us of? Jesus is always with us, isn't it? So I don't know if you noticed that you've got a whole new batch of Jesus that you did, and you already noticed because you picked up a couple today, that we've got another little container. The container is full of little Jesuses. So if you want to pick up a couple and give them to your friends, you can do that. To remind them that Jesus is always with us, isn't it? Always with us. Now this one is one that I have it up here on the pulpit to remind me when I'm preaching that Jesus is with me too. So, you know, but sometimes we forget these things. So we have to always remember that Jesus is always with us. So anyway, that's all I have for today. So you can go back wherever you're going next. Well, this week and next week, I'm going to be talking about some women in the Bible. And it's Mother's Day next week, so, you know, I always talk about women, or I like to talk about women in the Bible. And this week I'm talking about someone that Jesus pointed out. As a matter of fact, it's probably the only woman that he really pointed out in the whole time that he was talking about. There's a lot of strong, powerful, inspiring women in the Bible, but there's only one that Jesus really pointed out. It wasn't Mary, Ruth, or Esther, or any of the other people that we might have thought it might be. No, the person he pointed out was Lot's wife. She doesn't even have a name, but he pointed her out. Let's look at Luke 17. And as we look at Luke 17, starting with verse 20, we'll find that passage where he talks about Lot's wife. Once on being asked by the Pharisees when the kingdom of God would come, Jesus replied, "The coming of the kingdom of God is not something that can be observed, nor will people say, 'Here it is,' or 'There it is,' because the kingdom of God is in your midst." Then he said to his disciples, "The time is coming when you will long to see one of the days of the Son of Man, but you will not see it. People will tell you, 'There he is,' or 'Here he is.' Don't go running after them, for the Son of Man in his day will be like the lightning, which flashes and lights up the sky from one end to the other. But first he must suffer many things and be rejected by this generation. Just as it was in the days of Noah, so also will it be in the days of the Son of Man. People were eating and drinking and marrying and giving up in marriage up to the day Noah entered the ark. Then the flood came and destroyed them all. It was the same in the days of Lot. People were eating and drinking, buying and selling, planting and building. But the day Lot left Sodom, fire and sulfur rained down from heaven and destroyed it all. It will be like this on the day the Son of Man is revealed. On that day, no one who is in the household with possessions inside should go down to get them. Likewise, no one in the field should go back for anything. Verse 32. Remember Lot's wife. Whoever tries to keep their life will lose it, and whoever loses their life will preserve it. So out of all the people that Jesus could have referred to, the women in the Bible, I wouldn't have thought that Lot's wife was the one that he would single out. But he did. We don't even know her name. We just know her as the wife of Lot. We don't even know what her name was. She did one thing that put her in the Bible forever, that literally froze her in time. She turned around. Now, when I was in Jordan, when you go by the Dead Sea, you go, one part of the Dead Sea is where Sodom was, and one, it's down the south end of the Dead Sea. And up on the hill there's this pillar of salt. And it's huge. It's probably maybe 10, 12 feet tall. And up on the hillside, overlooking where Sodom would have been, is this big pillar of salt. It's kind of in the shape of, could be a person. And of course, the people have named it Lot's wife. And so maybe I saw Lot's wife, maybe not. I don't know whether that's pillar was left over from her. But it looks like it could be a person. And it does overlook Sodom. And it's kind of interesting that when you travel around, you see things that you would never expect to see. But when Sodom was burning, the angels who saved Lot and his family, they told them to leave. But don't look back. Back. That's in Genesis 19. And Jesus says, remember what happened to Lot's wife. If you cling to your life, you will lose it. If you let your life go, you will save it. In the context of Luke 17, Jesus is speaking of the coming kingdom and the urgency of being spiritually prepared. Lot's wife may have looked back in disbelief when she was being removed and spared from the judgment falling on a place that ultimately would be destroyed. She might have looked back because she was attached to her life, her comforts, her possessions, or lifestyle. We don't really know why she did. But it's very clear in the Bible she looked back, and there were consequences. Either way, Jesus' message was clear. The kingdom is coming. We must be ready. There's no time to hesitate, no time to look back at what we're leaving behind. Mark 8:36 says, and what do you benefit if you gain the whole world but lose your own soul? Jesus is calling us to have full trust and faith in him. When he says move, we need to move. When he says stay, we need to stay. When he says don't look back, we need to not look back. We need to keep our gaze forward on him. We don't want to split our focus, because when we split our focus, we lose it. You know that. When you are focused on something, and all of a sudden, this thing is happening over here, and then this thing over here is happening, and all of a sudden you lose your focus on what you're looking at, what you're trying to deal with, and you make a mistake. Anyway, that's what I do. I end up making a mistake because I lose my focus. Jesus is very clear that we have to keep our focus on him. Not on other things, not on what's going on around in the world, but on him. If we let ourselves hold on to our old lives, staring back, we might have had as comfort, or desiring possessions that we have lost, or anything else, we lose the greatest gift of the kingdom. Friends, Jesus told us to remember Lot's wife for a reason. The kingdom to come far outshines any kingdom of this world. Leave behind our whole life, quickly and entirely. We don't know when the end days come, and we must be prepared. Don't hold on. Don't drag your feet. Don't prioritize or value material things or your own comfort over spiritual obedience. Follow the Lord, all you have, and don't look back. That's really hard. It's almost 3 years since Dad passed, and I've been looking back. It's not the best thing I should be doing, really. I mean, sometimes it's been okay, and other times it's not been okay, what I've been looking at. But Jesus reminds us not to look back at what we had, what was past, but to look forward, to look at Him, and to go forward with Him step by step. Not on what you've lost, not on what you don't have anymore, but to look forward to what is coming. He said, if you cling to your life, you will lose it. If you let your life go, you will save it. Paul says it this way in Philippians 3. Forgetting the past, looking forward to what lies ahead, I press on to reach the end of the race and receive the heavenly prize for which God, through Jesus Christ, is calling us. Remember what happened to Lot's wife. If we cling to our lives and what is past, we will lose it. But if you let your life go, you will save it.
Scrolling through Facebook on our way up here this morning, and I saw something that kind of pertains to this too. We often hear life is short, enjoy it. But we often forget eternity is long, prepare for it. And not looking back and remembering what we have in our future.
Are all hearts clear to proceed? We'll have our closing candles.
Turn 376.
To go forth from this place, may we keep our eyes on Jesus. May we follow in His footsteps, and may we minister to every person that we meet this week. May we share His love with them. And then may the power of Jesus. Thanks.